All right, we are live finally. Good morning, everyone. Gonna wait for everyone to catch up and find me. I had some technical difficulties. I'm very sorry about that. These live streams, man, I just can't figure them out. All right, hey Rob, glad you found me. Look, you are gonna have to show me how to do these live streams because I go to set them ahead of time and then I go to join them, and yeah, it doesn't. There's not a button to say go live. Um, I'm a pretty tech savvy guy, but I'm telling you, these live streams they're really getting me. So glad you guys. Hi, good to see you guys. Um, yeah, I know there's usually a button, and look, I'm probably overlooking it. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it on my laptop and not my phone. Um, yeah, I don't know. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see every one of you. Um, well, first things first, it is cold here in Wisconsin. It is minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That is actual temperature. If my conversion chart is right, um, it's minus 23 Celsius. Maybe I know we ran into this in the past. Yeah, Rob, it's an ongoing problem with me, and I'm just gonna have to play with it, I guess, and till I figure it out, or just do it right at the exact moment I'm going live, like I am now. Yeah, I don't know. It's my Achilles heel when it comes to YouTube, but I will conquer it. Yes, very cold, minus 10 degrees. Oh, Rob, you're only minus 2 Celsius. Heat wave in Moncton. The wind chills today are anywhere between minus 25 Fahrenheit and minus 35 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be cold all week. Not well. I start saying not nearly this cold. I think Friday it's supposed to be minus 15 degrees. The good thing, and Rob will understand this, and maybe some of the rest of you who live in colder climates, apparently when it gets this cold, it's too cold to snow. It is too cold to snow. So that's one thing. We have snow on the ground. Um, we don't need any more. I'm good. But yeah, so it's a really good day to stay inside, which is what I'm doing. I'm getting some work done here in the office. Might even get. Okay, Joseph says it's 8 degrees Celsius here, no snow. All right. Yeah, I'm over the winter. Usually we have what they call a January thaw, which means sometime in the middle to the end of January we have a few days where it kind of warms up and things thaw out. Not this year. We've had snow since the last part of November. I think we got record snowfall in December. We've got snow in January, and now bitterly cold. Oh, Rob says you had that last week. All right. Well, I guess we're playing catch up. So that's kind of what's on my mind this morning is just the bitter cold. Um, so yeah, let's talk all things philatelic. Before we begin, I want to remind you of my new series, Stamp Club. You know, the channel's kind of taken a revamp, and I've come up with 4 different weeks of topics that we're going to talk about. One of them is Stamp Club. I had great reception to the last Stamp Club. So if you want to be a part of February Stamp Club, make sure you send me an email at snailmailwithsmokey@yahoo.com and send me your favorite stamp or set of stamps or something you're collecting now. Tell me why you like it, why it's in your collection, and I'll show it on the next episode of Stamp Club, which will be in a couple of weeks. Um, so really excited about that. Minus 3 Celsius in Norway, but it feels much colder. Yeah, that wind chill, the wind chill can really get to you. It really can cut through you. Rob says, "Happy Martin Luther King Day to you folks." Yes, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in America. Means the post office is not running. There won't be any mail today. It's a federal holiday. Some banks are open, some banks are closed. I know it's weird. It depends on your bank. Um, but yeah, happy MLK Day. So what shall we chat about today? Someone start us off with something. Had a busy day yesterday. Had church, of course. My youngest daughter and granddaughter came. Well, I actually came Saturday and spent the night with us Saturday and came to church yesterday, Sunday morning. So that was great. So I got to spend time with my granddaughter. Also, for those of you American football fans, my team, the Denver Broncos, won their playoff game. They're going to the AFC Championship. The quarterback was injured on the second to last play. So he is out for the rest of the time with a broken bone in his ankle. So we're going to rely on a backup quarterback that hasn't taken a snap in like two or more years. So yeah, going to the championship, AFC Championship game, but we're banged up and beat up. But hey, go Broncos! So that's my little hype for the for American football and for my team, the Denver Broncos. Well, not my team. I don't own them or have anything to do with them. I'm just a fan. Yeah. Are two lines of equal length drawn on a page, both going in the same direction? Let me try to give you a great philosophical answer, Rob. That is dependent upon whether the lines began going in the same direction or not. That's my answer. Yes, they still do play football after the Steelers are eliminated. I sent you a postcard. Might not have arrived yet, though. No, I haven't. I haven't gotten it. I'll be looking for it. My mail's been really slow. I've got Stephen from Australia sent me some things. He sent them to me around Christmas time, I think, and I just got them last week. Jilly B and Renee both sent me cards, and I got those last week or week before. But yeah, my mail's been running really, really, really slow. Yeah, and Rob, the Steelers, they're looking for a coach. This will be their fourth coach since you and I were born, since 1960 something. So interesting to see who they choose. Norway is going to VM this year. I'm not sure what that means. Well, thank you, Joseph. I look forward to your postcard. Uh, I always look forward to it when people send me things in the mail. I never ask for it, but I'm very, very, very touched when people remember me. Ian, how you doing? Good evening. Oh, virtual mail. Okay. World Championship football. Gotcha. So, gotcha. So is that American football or is that American soccer and football for the rest of the world? Um, Look, I know this maybe isn't stamp related, but um, we really ought to settle this football thing, right? I mean, we ought to either we all call it football and then we think of something else for American football. We really ought to settle this thing. Okay. Sure. Highland football and American, sure. Sure. So a few things I was thinking about stamp wise. Um, I have, and I'm going to do a video over this in a couple weeks about what my goals are. for this year in stamp collecting. Yay, Steven, thanks for finding me. Look, I had technical difficulties. I don't know how to hit a button. That's just what it comes down to. It. I wish I could tell you it was something more intriguing than that. And the reason I don't know how to hit a button is I cannot locate the button. So I promise by next month to either try to do better or we'll do it like this again. But thanks for being patient with me. Yeah, Rob says the whole world other than Canada and the U.S. call it football. I think it's been settled. LOL. We are wrong. Yeah, Rob, I tend to agree with you. I kind of was a diehard holdout for a long time. No, it's football. It's football. Everything else is soccer. And once I really started, I guess when I started collecting stamps and connecting with people from around the globe, and everyone's like football, 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 and to me, I'm thinking soccer, soccer, soccer. I quickly learned that I was in the majority. Um, so yeah, I don't know what we do about that, but maybe we rename football to you know spiral leather ball. I got no idea. We'll find out. Anyway, back to my comment about stamp collecting. Has this ever happened to you? I have problems finding buttons on my shirt, so no worries, Smokey. Yeah, me too, Stephen. Me too. So thank you for understanding. Um, Pigskin. I like it, Rob. We'll call it pigskin. Hashtag, and then how the young people are doing it. Hashtag pigskin. Let's see if we can get that trending on YouTube. Uh, probably not. That is extremely true. Joseph says there are a lot more soccer or football stamps than American football stamps. Very true. I know of very few American football stamps. The U.S. has put out a couple. If I'm not mistaken, Canada has two. Rob can correct me on that if I'm wrong. I'm almost certain I've seen a couple from Canada that depict American football or Canadian football. Stormy says overpaid player ball. Yeah, that's probably good too. I don't know if that's going to catch on, especially with the players. I feel like they think they deserve the just meager salary they're making. Look, some of these guys have to survive on just a few $1,000,000 a year. So let's, yeah, of course, I'm being very sarcastic about that. Yes, they do make large salaries, and there's some arguments to be made for that. Okay, so yeah, Rob says there's a few CFL stamps. I was right. I think I have some in my collection somewhere. I can't tell you where they're at, but I'm pretty sure I have them. 1,382 football stamps since 1969. Okay, do you know that off the top of your head, or were you using the Google machine? That's a lot. That is a lot of stamps to have to a topic. So, does anybody out there collect soccer stamps, football stamps? Any of you collecting those? I don't. Um, I played, and I'm going to call it soccer because I'm an American, so please forgive me. I played soccer for 4 years when I was young, and by young I mean like ages 7, 8, 9, and 10. I was on an intramural team and played soccer, and I loved it. I had a good time. Uh, what happened is about age 9 or 10, I found American football and found out I was really good at it. And so that was what I did. I played football, American football, all the way through school and loved it. Number 1382 in catalog. Okay. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I was online yesterday on my phone. It was after church. kind of sitting in my chair, taking a nap, not really taking a nap. You know what I mean? It was cold here, and so I'm looking on online on social media, and someone I follow posts a picture of a stamp, and I had to go shopping. I had to go shopping and find that stamp. Uh, you ever do that? You ever have to go shopping and find a stamp just because you saw it in a magazine or you saw it online? Or let me know. Steven says I don't specifically collect any sports stamps, though I do have some in my collection. So no, not just mushrooms. Well, I was wondering, Steven. You probably have the largest mushroom stamp collection on the planet. I'm going to guess. Why do you like mushrooms so much? There's a question I've got for you, Stephen. No American football stamps. So yeah. The U.S. They've issued a few, not a ton, but a few. And I have a couple in my collection. Okay, so Stormy says it's going to be single digits this week, Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's cold when it gets down single digits or below. I don't think we need to keep track of the temperature anymore. We just need to say, hey, it's cold outside, because there's not much difference, in my opinion, from -5 to -10 to -15. It's just cold. But that's just me. I'm not a meteorologist. Yeah. All right. Anybody got any questions you want to throw out? We can talk about stamps. We can talk about sports. Whatever you want to talk about. 1832 stamp was for the 100th anniversary of college football. Oh, well, I did not know that. I enjoy college football. I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan because I was born and raised in Oklahoma. And so I really enjoy the Sooners. To be honest, I kind of quit watching it when they're out of it. My father used to draw a lot, and when he drew pictures for me, he invariably put a mushroom or two in there, and I just love the mushrooms. Well, what a great story, Stephen. I thought you were going to say, hey, because they're tasty, or I like that they're cool looking, or because gnomes live in them. But wow, awesome. Because they remind you of your dad. So that's extremely awesome. Your dad was an artist. That's awesome. I am not artistic at all. I cannot draw or paint or sketch. I can't draw a stick man with a ruler. That's a true story. You give me a ruler and a pen, and I cannot draw a stick man. So anybody that has artistic ability, I'm enamored with them. I think it's very great. Oh. Hey, Pete, will I be going to Boston in 2026 in May? Barring a miracle, no, I will not. For those of you who don't know, Boston 2026 is the big international show. It's a philatelic show. It happens once every 10 years. They've been promoting it for a couple of years now. I would love to go. My wife and I talked about it last year. We talked about going, but unfortunately, I'm here at the church, and our snowplow guy that we hired to plow our parking lot just showed up and was making quite a bit of noise. So I was looking out my window, seeing what the heck was going on. My wife and I talked about it last year. We talked about going, and we've just had some stuff come up in our family, and so we're not going to be there. So you just booked your hotel. You'll be there. Pete, how awesome. You are going to have to tell us how it is. I know Graham Beck from Exploring Stamps is going to be there. I wish I could go. Right now, like I said, barring a miracle, I'm not going, so I don't think I'll be there. But and I also I told my wife, I said, to be honest, I feel like that show's kind of out of my league. There, thank you, Pete. Appreciate it. There's going to be some pricey stamps there. There's going to be people there that really know their stuff. Uh, and then my wife reminded me, hey, wouldn't it be great just to be there and experience everything? And yeah, it would. And of course, I would walk away with stamps. I could imagine you would be able to find any stamp that your heart's desired that you want to add to your collection of that show. Um, and just to be in that big of arena. Uh, yeah, awesome. Pete, have a great time. I super excited for you. And yeah, yeah. So yeah. So thanks Pete for telling me you're going to be there. Um, yeah, I think it's unfortunate that we don't have as many stamp shows as I feel like there used to be. Uh, so yeah, the US 3146 was an honor to Chicago Bears coach. Yeah, I have that one, Joseph. I have the Bears stamp. Um, who lost last night in overtime in a really good game. I was rooting for the Bears. They just couldn't pull it off, but they had a great season. Um, yeah, like I said, I think it's a shame that we don't have as many stamp shows locally. And by locally, I don't mean just in my area. I mean everyone's area, as it seems like there used to be back in the heyday of stamp collecting. For me to go to a show, it's about a 2-hour drive in either direction to attend a show, um, and it's not something I'm always able to do. And they're smaller shows, and so I have to weigh that. Do I want to drive 2 hours when there's going to be 10 tables or 15 tables? I know Rob's really fortunate where he's at that they have a show every weekend. I don't know, Rob, if you're still listening. I don't know if that's all year long or just a certain part of the year, but yeah, I would love to have something like that in my area, even if it was 45-minute drive, hour drive to the big town once a month. Rob says, yeah, how exciting that would be. Uh, and then the I don't know, the go getter in me or the whatever it is in me goes, hey, Smoke, you could put on a stamp show. And my wife and I have even talked about it. And guys, I don't need something else to do. If I put on a stamp show, I feel like I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. And the whole purpose of doing one was so I could enjoy it. So yeah, honor football coaches. Yeah, yeah, those are good stamps. Yes, I've got the Vince Lombardi and the Bear Bryant and the Paul Warner football. Yeah, all those were in the same series, I believe. So yeah, really good stamps. Yeah, very good. Trying to think of clever things to say. Kind of tired today. I don't know if it's the weather. Everyone in our town, in our state, has been sick the last couple of weeks. Thankfully, I'm knocking on my wood desk. I haven't been sick yet, uh, but yeah, everyone's just kind of had the flu or some kind of junk. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of taking me a while to get going this morning. And the weather, like I said, the weather does not help because it is -10. I'm gonna look at my phone. Ooh, oh my gosh, people. Weather update. It has warmed up to -8. It is currently -8 here where I live in Wisconsin. Smokey, do you collect a lot of U.S. stamps as main collection? No. That's the simple answer, Stormy. No, I don't. Um, I have a lot of U.S. stamps. Um, I have a U.S. collection, but as far as being a main collection, No, uh, I don't. Um, I focus on the micro countries of Europe. You guys know that because I talk about that a lot. That's my main passion. Liechtenstein, San Marino, French Andorra, Vatican City, Monaco. But then, um, I also have topical collections. I'm trying to read the rest of it. It would be a lot to organize, renting a premises and insurance coverage. Yeah, Stephen. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna hold a show. Just a fleeting thought I had for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, smoke. Don't do it. So you collect stamps and or postcards with churches from all over the world. Yes, that is correct. One of my topical collections is churches on stamps. I collect postcards with churches on it, stamps with churches on it. Uh, Not just because I'm a pastor, but I just love churches. I love the architecture, and yeah, I like to look at churches, and so I collect churches on stamps, cartoons on stamps, um, long necked animals on stamps. I think I'm the only guy I know that has a long necked animal collection. Um, and then those are kind of my main topics. So if U.S. stamps fit into that, certainly I collect them. Uh, the U.S. has released some nice cartoon stamps. I've got the new SpongeBob's in my collection. Yeah. All right. Rob says Isabel has a big fire that's only a couple kilometers from her home. Keep her in mind. So we will be thinking and about her and praying for her, and that she is safe and that the people around her are safe. Sorry, that's my cell phone. I'll talk to them later. Do you have the Four Horsemen stamp and Newt Rockney stamp? Uh, no, I don't think I do. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I have those. Uh, yes, I'm a pastor. That's right. I pastor a non-denominational church, which means we're a Christian church, but we're not affiliated with a denomination like Lutheran or Baptist or Pentecostal. We're our own autonomous thing, and but it seems like non-denominational has become a denomination in recent years, so that's a whole thing. I've been pastoring. Matter of fact, 30 years this year. It's been 30. It'll be 30 years. In July, I think, since I started pastoring uh, my first church, and I've been pastor where I'm at going on 13 years. It'll be 13 years in April that I've been pastoring here. I'm coming from my office. This is my our. We just bought a new building back in the spring and renovated it, and so yeah, it's uh, it's my calling and something I love to do. Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear you're Christian. Newt Rockney was 22-cent stamp. Four Horsemen was 32-cent stamp. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to have to look at my collection, Joseph, and see if I have those. I know I've seen them, but yeah, I don't know. My biggest collection in U.S. is from 1840s to 1930s. Wow, that is a great collection. So, Stormy, do you have the U.S. number one and number two? I don't. I don't have very expensive stamps. The most expensive stamp I have is a penny black, and I paid a little bit over 100 U.S. dollars for that. Most of the stamps I purchase are significantly less. If I pay $5 for a stamp, I'm really splurging because I'm tight. Uh, I love the older U.S. stamps. I'm trying to find a valuable one in my collection so I can buy a house. Yeah. Well, if you find one, let us know, and I wish you good luck with that. Look, I love the old U.S. stamps too, from the 1840s, 1930s. Yeah, great year for stamps. The U.S. lost. Of course, I'm not that old. I don't think it depends on who you ask. Um, the U.S. lost me when it comes to stamps in the 60s and 70s. Um, Yeah, that grill business is hard. Uh, these U.S. stamps that have grill marks on them, yeah, it's hard to see if they do and what they are. That's tricky. That's why when you have a stamp like that, I think a lot of people send them in to an expert and get them looked at professionally. Of course, you get charged for that, but if you suspect something like that, then it's definitely worth the money. Violet, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the early U.S. stamps, uh, I really like. Yeah, I guess I should have said Violet and Monty. Um, sorry, Monty. Uh, and Monty, I got your postcard, and so thank you for it. Monty sent me a postcard from it's got a picture of the North Pole and Canada on it, and it actually may be the subject of a stamp in a story, Monty. So I don't know, but it could be because I have a story that goes along with that postcard you sent me. So very appreciative. Stormy says, I don't care for the newer stamps. They look more like stickers than stamps. So you bring up an excellent, thanks for understanding, Monty. You bring up an excellent point, and one that I want to talk about in an episode coming up. Uh, you know, I commented on a stamp yesterday that somebody showed online. I said, "Wow, what a beautiful stamp!" And they said, "Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore." Um, and I would agree with that. I miss the line engraving stamps. Now look, the SpongeBob stamps that the U.S. released. Got them in my collection. They're nice looking stamps. The difference between them and a SpongeBob sticker that I can buy at the Walmart. Um, my stamps say United States Postal Service and Forever Stamp on it. That's the difference. But as far as the quality, I think the quality is the same. I think I agree. It does look like a sticker, and that's okay because, um, yeah, that's what they do now, and I understand why they do it. Doesn't mean I agree with it. I do miss the line engraving, and I think there's a beauty from that. I miss the two color or the one color stamps. Seems like stamps from all the countries now are flashy, multiple colors and the way they're printed. Back then you did a line color engraving and it was one color, two colors. Yeah. If I sent stamps with Norwegian comics, you wouldn't know about them. Probably not. I probably would not know the comics, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I know them or not. I have stamps in my collection. I have French stamps, for instance, that have comics in it. And the funny thing about that is when I bought these French stamps, I didn't know what the comic was. But then after I bought the stamps, I looked up the comic because I wanted to know. So yeah, if I came across some from Norway, I'd probably end up doing the same thing. Minus 22 degrees, Monty. So you're about the same temperature as me. I start off by saying it's minus 10 Fahrenheit here, which I think converts to minus 23 Celsius. I'm not uh, sure if I did the math right, because here in America, we are the only people who cannot learn the metric system. And yeah, that's to our detriment. But um, yeah, whatever. The rest of the world caught on, but we're holding on to American football, and we're holding on to our system of measurement. That is true. Stephen has sent me Turkish stamps with cartoon characters, and I haven't complained yet because I don't care where they come from. Um, I love cartoon stamps. One of my favorite things to collect. I think it takes me back to my childhood where we had Saturday morning cartoons, and I'd sit in front of the TV and watch them. Adhesive stamps is my OCD. Want to remove the back to have them match up with traditional stamps. And yeah, that's because we play football in yards. That's true. Good one, Stormy. Um, yeah, I'm not look self-adhesive stamps. Um, I think Rob's done some talks on his videos about how to remove the self-adhesive stamps. I've done it. Other people have done it. There are ways to do it. Um, none of them are great. I think it was Rob that suggested the citrus spray. I know Gordon, not Gordon, uh, Graham Beck. I don't know where I'm thinking of Gordon. Graham Beck also suggested the citrus spray. I have I have a bottle of stamp remover fluid that's got a little paintbrush on the end of it that you actually paint the back of the self-adhesive stamp and then let it dry, and then that peels off. That works too. There are ways to do it, but it sure is not as fast as soaking. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I know nothing about Norway comics, so I would be happy to check them out. Um, and I don't think I have any in my collection from Norway either. Um, so yeah, it's always nice to have different countries. I like postcards that. Do y'all like postcards with churches that are blank, or do you prefer them stamps? I don't care. Uh, I think I like them with a stamp on it. Uh, yeah, I think I prefer the stamp. Just I like the postcard to go through the postal system. I know in post crossing there are people who like send it in an envelope, and that's fine if they ask and I'm able to do it, then I'm more than happy to do that. But for my collecting, yeah, I like the postmark on there. I like to know, hey, this thing traveled through the mail. But that's just me. How many countries have switched to self adhesive stamps? Oh Lord, I do not know. Um, I don't know. Steven might know that. He's pretty savvy when it comes to philatelic knowledge like this. I don't know, but I'm going to say most of them. Yeah, that's my guess. That's my guess there. Um, so we're gonna spend about 5 more minutes on here, and then we're gonna wrap it up for this live. Once again, I apologize for the delay, and I think I had to start 2 or 3 separate lives, and I apologize. I'll go clean all that up here in a little bit. So if you want to watch the replay, you'll only see the one. Yeah. Okay. So Steven says a citrus spray doesn't work with some Belgium, Swedish, and Italian stamps. That's good to know, Steven, because I know um, some people have said that it works well, and I've never tried it. Like I said, I've got this. It's called Stamp Lifter fluid that I bought off the interweb, and it's worked. It's worked fairly well for that. And to be quite honest, I have a box, a large box of stamps that need either soaked off or are self adhesive, and I just haven't found time to do it. It's not something I enjoy doing, soaking stamps, and it's time consuming. And I'd rather be cataloging stamps or shopping for stamps. And so, one of my goals is to get all that stuff sorted. We'll see if that happens or not this year. But it's a goal, and we will certainly we're certainly going to try to do that. Talcum powder works. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard of people who after they remove the stamps or soak them off, they put talcum powder on the back to dry them. Um, And once again, I haven't done that. Steven says, I think most countries have issued some self-adhesive stamps. Finland and the USA are the only self-adhesive, are only issuing self-adhesive. True, 80% of Australia stamps used on mail are self-adhesive. So yeah, I do know the U.S. 100% self-adhesive stamps. 100%, and it has been that way for quite a while now. Yeah. Well, look, guys, I want to thank you all. Canada is all self-adhesive as well. Yeah, I thought so. I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to talk out of turn. And the reason I know this because I watch Rob videos, and he's always showing new stamps, and they look to be self-adhesive. So hey, before we go, I'm going to ask Rob a question. Rob, as a mail carrier, um, is it easier for you to have self-adhesive stamps? Because I've got to believe you don't have stamps that fall off as much of a package or envelope, um, like you did with the old lick and stick variety. Uh, so is it easier from a postal office perspective? You think to have the self adhesive, or do you think it really doesn't matter? Just off the top of my head. So Australia issues gummed and self adhesive versions of most stamps. So Stephen, are you saying that if I want to go get a $2 stamp that has a kangaroo on it, I can get that same stamp in either gummed or self adhesive? Because that's cool. I'd like that if that's what you're telling me. I think if they are newer, they will stick. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Mm. Rob says it makes no difference by the time it gets to me, as I'm just delivering them, but adhesive does not fall off in the wet like the old ones. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, especially in places where you have a lot of weather, like where Rob and I are, the older stamps they will fall off if they get wet because it's just like you're soaking it off the envelope or the package. So I guess that's one of the benefits of self adhesive is that once they're on there, and of course for us as stamp collectors, that's one of the detriments because once they're on there, dadgummit, they're on there, and we can't get them off. So yeah. All right. Well, we've been almost 45 minutes, so we're going to start wrapping things up. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in the chat. It's uh, it's good to communicate this way. I like having the back and forth. I like seeing everyone comment in the chat. I promise to do my best to get better at this as far as timing the live and all of that. Stephen, commemoratives are issued in normal sheets and booklets. The booklets are always self adhesive these days. The more common values of definitives are also issued as self adhesives. Well, that's cool. That's cool to know, Stephen. I did not know that. Uh, One more thing that I like about Australian Post. That's really cool. Nice hanging out. Nice hanging out with you guys too. Uh, we are going to put a pin in it here. Don't forget, if you want to be part of Stamp Club, next month's Stamp Club, please send me an email at snailmailwithsmoke@yahoo.com. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll see you guys. We'll see you next month for my live chat, and we'll see you in the comments of the videos. Until then, and until I see you next time, hey, everyone have a great day and stay warm. Okay. Bye bye.